U.S. Navy's Center for Asymmetric Warfare, or CAW, has been at the forefront of conducting multi-agency homeland defense, homeland security, maritime security exercises. Our mission at the CAW is to enable the abilities of federal, state, and local agencies to detect, deter, and defeat maritime-borne threats to our nation. Established in 1999, the CAW has conducted complex scenario-based exercises across the United States and overseas, involving the participation of the United States Coast Guard, the FBI, ICE, CBP, the National Guard, and hundreds of state and local police, fire, and private sector organizations. Today we are in the state of Maine for the conduct of the Partners on the Water exercise. The focus of this exercise is on Maine's Maritime Security Team as a force multiplier for the Coast Guard in enhancing the safety and security of our ports, waterways, and water transport services. Maine's experience in developing a deployable tactical maritime law enforcement response capability is a role model for the nation, a model based on strong multi-agency partnerships and best practices, one that capitalizes on available expertise rather than on having to build completely new capabilities. Post 9/11, the United States Coast Guard's intensified port security and maritime domain missions required building partnerships and leveraging scarce resources with state agencies such as the Maine Marine Patrol. The Maine Marine Patrol, though well qualified for their pre-9/11 mission, was ill-prepared to meet the Homeland Security challenge. Today, Maine Marine Patrol officers now assist United States Coast Guard in patrolling security zones, naval shipyards, ports, presidential property, and in escorting high-interest vessels. To provide the legal umbrella and enforcement authority, the state of Maine and the United States Coast Guard created a first-in-the-nation memorandum of agreement. The U.S. Coast Guard plays a critical role in command and control over each security mission. They activate the MOA within a unified command, made up of federal and state partners, and establish the mutual terms by which they will interact during a security event. Maine Emergency Management Agency establishes a bridge between all state and local agencies in a unified response. Once the State Maritime Security Team is activated, Marine Patrol and State Police blend into a unified force. The Memorandum of Agreement bridged the legal gap but did little to equip and train state maritime officers for this new mission. Maine's first step was to assemble multi-agency team members and conduct an assessment of equipment, capabilities, and expertise. Initial evaluation revealed that Maine's vessel and current training practices fell short of securing Maine's unique maritime environment. The vessels were overloaded and offered no protection for the boarding team. The boarding team members were improperly trained and equipped for a maritime security mission. Next, we paired partners with their areas of expertise. Based on a national curriculum, the Coast Guard provided expert maritime training for the land-based Maine State Police Tactical Unit. Maine Marine Patrol's expert boat handlers were further trained by the Coast Guard for tactical deployment and perimeter security. To assess and ensure the operational readiness and interoperability of these partners, we have conducted live counter-terrorist exercises. Partners on the Water is one such exercise. In Partners on the Water, simulated intelligence concerning a potential terrorist attempting to enter the United States illegally via Maine on a small fishing vessel or ferry was received by a Joint Terrorism Task Force, or JTTF, and was disseminated to multi-agency law enforcement and transportation entities. Days later, a crew member aboard an intercoastal ferry reports a hostage situation to the Maine State Ferry Service security officer. This information is then relayed to the NRC for a coordinated federal-state response. The Maine security team is activated and assembles in Rockland to develop a boarding plan to mitigate the hostage situation aboard the ferry. Detailed planning is jointly coordinated by Maine Marine Patrol and Maine State Police Tactical Unit. With the approval of Unified Command, the tactical team prepares for deployment. To accomplish a hostile boarding, boat tactics must be choreographed to distract and confuse the suspects, allowing the boarding team their opportunity.
Go, 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 go!
Once aboard, the first team secures the boarding area, allowing the second unit to board unhindered. The entire ship is then swept and secured.
In the 30 years of my experience in law enforcement, there's always been struggles with jurisdiction, turf lines. Those barriers were quickly broken down after 9/11.
The range of miles of coastline that the Coast Guard was tasked to oversee and secure made it impossible with our limited resources to do it by ourselves.
We sat down and did an honest cataloging and an honest assessment of what our strengths and weaknesses were, and it became readily apparent that why would we seek to create a self-contained maritime unit when we had some of the most expert boat handlers in all of New England, probably on the East Coast, in the Maine Marine Patrol, and they could facilitate whatever we needed as far as boat delivery or boat handling.
By training together, it's enhanced all of the efficiencies and capabilities of both the Maine Marine Patrol and the United States Coast Guard.
Because of the long-standing partnership that we had with the Marine Patrol, it had already put to rest any concerns about who was in charge, who did what best. And I think mutual respect and the gaining respect that we got out of more training, the more that we trained together, built those partnerships and continue to build them stronger each time we train together and work together.
And we depend upon partnerships, whether it's local, county, with other state agencies or with federal agencies. We bring people together and we maximize resources.
If you don't have a maritime mandate as your primary mandate, you should look for a partner who does and capitalize on that relationship.
For further information, contact Major John Fetterman at 207-624-6550 or via email at john.fetterman@maine.gov.